That was like on cue. Hi guys, how are we feeling? Okay, I want everybody to drop a one in the chat if you guys are pumped about these promotions that they just launched. All of these bonuses. I guess they're not really promotions. We are so freaking excited. Okay, so going back to the Zoom that we did with you guys last week, right? It's everything, right? They're literally changing everything. And I am so excited. And I think that this Zoom's going to be really good because we have a lot of points that we're going to hit with you guys on distributors because we've all been there where we feel like distributors are a little bit more tough, right? They're a little bit tougher to get. And we're going to talk about all the things on how to enroll them, how to build those relationships because you guys, and I know that Alyssa and Courtney are going to touch on this too, but building those relationships, you guys, building those friendships is what is going to bring you the success. Okay. Because what corporate is doing is just trying to get us to duplicate. Like we can be mass enrollers. And I'm just, if you want to be a mass enroller, great. Keep on mass enrolling and don't slow down in that aspect of it, but slow down in the aspect of taking your time to train these new distributors that you're bringing into this business. Because just like you guys, we all started at a clean slate. I don't know if you guys caught that or not, but we're all starting with a clean slate. So we get to earn this bonus as well as our newbies. And we want to see them succeed. We want to see them see the money. And because they're allowing us to see that money so fast, you guys, that's going to almost instill that. I don't even know if like faith is the right word, but it's going to instill that faith in the company that we stand behind us saying, yes, you can make X amount of dollars in X amount of time. And I'm going to show you how. Okay. It's kind of one of those things where we've all done it, where we've signed up a distributor and we may have either forgotten about them. Maybe we didn't train them as well as we should have, or been more intentional with everything. And that's where building these relationships with these potential distributors before they're even in the system is going to truly help you. And I know Alyssa's going to talk about, building those relationships and talking to them personally, but you guys, getting them on the phone even to talk to them and allowing them to talk. And I know like that's a scary thing. That's a scary thing to think, like, you want me to call somebody and I don't even necessarily, maybe you're newer and you don't even necessarily know everything that you're doing. That's okay. I want to encourage you guys to set up some calls with these people that you've built relationships or are building relationships with. And just in the first 5 minutes of you even being on the phone, tell me a little bit about yourself. Tell me a little bit about why you would need this. What is this business going to do for you? And I guarantee you guys that once you get them talking, you're going to hear their objections. You're going to hear their why they need this. You're going to hear why they're interested, and you're going to be able to bounce off of that. And it's going to be the conversation is going to flow so much easier than you think. Okay. So I'm just so excited for tonight. So I don't know whoever wants to start. I'm not going to start with mine because mine's a little bit different than that. So I'm going to mute.
I'll go ahead and start because I know Alyssa has some things that we can kind of focus on, tips first, and then what Alyssa is going to tell us is going to bring so much confidence in actually enrolling the DTs. And so I want you guys to kind of have that a little later on. Oh my gosh. Of course, my throat does that right as I start to talk. But honestly, the things that are working for me, you guys, are things that I have been doing consistently since starting my business. And obviously there's different things that we learn along the way, like, oh, this is working, so we're doing that, or oh, this is working, so we're doing that. We're always changing it. But part of the baseline of our business has always been consistent posting. If you're not putting it out there, nobody knows what you're doing. Think about somebody who's day one in their business. Think about your business every day that you wake up as day one in your business. If you're not posting anything, people don't know that you're open for business. And you can be like, well, I've posted for the last month every single day. So like, if I don't post for a week, it's okay. But for that week, your business is closed if you don't post. And so remember that. And that is one of the key things that we tell every new DT, right? So we should be doing it too. And I know a lot of us are very, very good about staying consistent with product posting because it brings us customers, and that's super fun. but we're not so great all the time about being consistent about posting about the business. And so it's interesting to me when, people are like, well, it's harder to enroll a DT. It's harder to enroll a DT. I'm like, well, you're not doing as much work to enroll a DT as you're doing to enroll customers. We're doing 10 host-to-host a day for LCs. What are we doing that's that much work for distributors on the other end? We're not doing that much work for it. So yeah, it's going to be harder because we're not putting in the same amount of work to where, we're enrolling all these customers because we're doing so much work. We need to be doing the same for DTs as well, to have that equal playing field for our business, to bring in both, because our business has to be bringing in both, especially with this new 4-in-1 that they just brought out. They're basing it on that because they know what our business needs to be successful, and they're laying that out for us. And so we have to do that, or else our business is not going to be successful. And so starting with consistent posting and posting about our stories, and that can be scary, but it can be, and we'll talk more about this on our Power Hour on Thursday with actual how-tos, ideas, stuff like that. But being consistent with posting your story, and you guys, I reuse a lot of my stories because my story is still me from 4 years ago. Has it changed a little bit because now I'm not a college student? Yes, but I still talk about, you'll see in my posts, I joined as a 19-year-old college student. That will never change in my posts because that's my story. And so telling your story in different ways, but then using that and reusing that. I reuse posts because my story is still me. And so when you're writing a post, it might seem like that's a lot of work to write a business post. But when you're doing that, you're setting yourself up for all of these posts that you can reuse forever and ever and tweak them along the way as your story does change. And the main, or the basic system I always like to go to when it comes to writing your story is, what was your life like before? What is it like right now because of the business? What has it done for you so far? And where do you want to end up? What is your next goal in the business? And then the invitation for, message me opportunity or comment on this poster. If you're looking for an extra income, my inbox is open. That sort of invitation at the end. It can be that simple. And then also remembering, take a picture when you're at the gas station and post about paying for gas. Take a picture of your groceries. You'll see top leaders still doing this, you guys. It doesn't matter if you're making $5,000 a month or $50 a month. You can post about all of these things, and that is what works because people want to know the little things, because that's all they can grasp their head around. I watched a girl making 5 figures a month, and all my brain can grasp was, if she's making 5 figures a month, surely I can make $200 a month. That's all my brain can grasp. And so those little things is what they're going to grab onto and be like, maybe I can pay for my gas. Maybe I can pay for my groceries with that business too, if she can do that as well. And then reels are also working super well for me too. And also that sounds scary too, but I feel like the thing we have to remember is that the work that we're putting in is going to pay off. When you get that $150 bonus and then $350 bonus, you're getting paid for all of the work that you've already done as well. And so by taking a little bit of time to content create, by making those posts, writing out some post ideas for yourself for business posts, by taking 30 minutes to an hour on one day to record 10 reels all at once and content create that, to have that for yourself, you're setting yourself up for all of those DTs that are going to join you. And you're going to get paid for that. It's just not going to be right away. It's going to be once you enroll those people, you're getting compensation for that. And so remember that too. But the reels can be so fun. You guys, I get ideas from people on TikTok or people on reels, other leaders in the business. And I basically just copy what they do, put my own words on it. And I do that. And I just point to the screen or whatever they're doing. And it's super simple. So don't make it overcomplicated, but that's working super well too, especially on, obviously Instagram is reels, but bringing out people I like to say bringing out people from the woodworks in Instagram, because so many people are on there, but not everybody's going to message you the word opportunity because they're too nervous. Or maybe they just haven't watched you long enough. But I feel like reels bring them out of the woodworks because they can, I don't know, it's weird. They can see you, they see you having fun with it. They see your story in a fun video, and it just attracts them so much more than reading a post or reading a story. And then also obviously being consistent with your stories. I like to do stories of my story, and then also do stories. You can go look at my stories today. I just made some new ones, and I'm going to post it in our team chats and stuff. But I just made some new ones of different people's stories, so they can not only see my success, but also see other people's success in the business too, to know that our business works, because it's not just me being successful, it's all these other people on our teams being successful too. I feel like I'm blah, 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 blah. But it can't stop with just posting. So posting is putting it out there to make sure your business is open, But if that's all you're doing, you're like, well, I'm posting and nobody's joining the business. Okay, well, nobody would join my business if that's all I did either. And so make sure that you're being consistent behind the scenes too, because think about host posts. We can post about the products all day long, but are we getting all of our customers from business or product posts? No, we're getting most of them from host posts, and that's a behind the scenes type of thing. So what behind the scenes type of things are you doing for business DTs? And so one of the things I like to do is message people that have posted a post for me, and I can put that message in the comments when I get done talking. Otherwise, I'll get distracted. I think Ariane has it too. But putting that message or sending that message to people who have posted a post, basically offering the business to them, saying, this is what we do too, is post about this, and you just did the same thing for me. Have you ever thought about making an extra income? And so that's a good open door to send to people. And then the other thing that I wanted to say is post your enrollments, you guys. And this goes for customers and distributors. So if you're like, I haven't signed a DT yet, so I can't post an enrollment, post your customer enrollments, because people want to see that our business is working. If people see me post about the products all day long, but they're like, is she actually enrolling customers? They see that I'm enrolling customers because I'm putting it on my story every single time that I enroll a customer, or take screenshots of it and put it on the Over app with a picture of you, and then like the overlay of all the customers that you've enrolled, and make a post about it. People want to see that you're being successful. And when they see that, they're going to be like, dang, like she must know what she's doing, and this business is working for her. So I want to join her team too, because she's going to teach me how to do the same thing. And then obviously when you enroll DTs, post that too, because monkey see, monkey do. People are going to do what other people are doing. And so if they see like that they were thinking about joining the business, and then they see that Sally and Hannah joined my team, they're going to be like, oh crap, okay, I really need to join her team because everybody else is joining. And so I just need to, if other people are taking the leap, I need to take the leap too. So people are going to follow what other people are doing. So don't just keep that hidden. Shout that from the rooftops when people are enrolling as customers and DTs on your team. That will go a long ways too.
Okay, I will unmute myself. Unless Ariane, did you want to go? Or you're good.
No, you're good. I have some stuff I want to add to Courtney's, but I'll come back. I'll
go
back
add it. Go for it. Go.
Okay. Just really quick. So two things. One thing, when Courtney was talking about adding those slides to the stories about other people's stories, and I have not done this, but it just like, I don't know if you guys saw my face for a second, but I was like, oh, I totally forgot. I used to do this all the time because we're not just in our stories, but I used to post about other people's stories, especially like we used to be able to be like in person and do like belly to belly. We used to be at conference. We used to do fun things and used to be able to get outside of our houses. And so I would always take pictures with people, and then I'm able to grab their story. And even if you don't have a picture with them, that's okay too. But posting it to your wall and just be like, meet my friend, say it's meet my friend Alyssa. And then you have a picture of Alyssa on your news feed. And then you're like, here's her story. And you guys, you don't have to sift through like our posts to find our stories too. Reach out and ask, just be like, hey, do you have a little story that you can give me so I can post it on my wall? And we'll no problem give it to you. Any leader will do that for you, and not just us. But by doing that, you guys as well, you're able to, bring in new people to your potentials list. And so, for me, a lot of times mine are either, moms or new moms or single moms or whatever. But I have a lot of moms on my page because that's what my story is basically focused around, right? But with Courtney, she's pregnant now, so I'm sure she's had moms and stuff on her stories, but now she's kind of relating a little bit more with them because she's able to post about her pregnancy and like able to relate to new moms and all of that. But before, she was a college student, so I'm sure she has like a bunch of like college students on hers, and like same with Alyssa. I'm sure that she has a bunch of different networks on hers as well. And so when you're bringing other people's stories to the table, you're opening up and expanding more people the opportunity, because somebody might come to my page and just be like, well, I'm not a mom, so I can't do that. Or, oh, I'm not a college student, so I can't do that. So I just encourage you guys to do that. And even, just if you don't have a picture of them or whatever, if you don't have a picture with them or of them and you don't feel comfortable stealing one, which is okay too, just ask them, just message them and ask them and just say, hey, can I have whatever? And then the second thing, when she was talking about enrolling customers and showing people that you're enrolling customers, when you're so focused, for me, even before this launch, the 1st through the 15th, I focused on distributors. Okay. And so even when I was enrolling customers, I'm posting it in a way of like, I'm overlaying my pictures and I'm saying, so glad I got to work my business, especially in the summertime, like from the pool today and this and that. So people are seeing, like, if they're interested in the product, they are seeing that people are enrolling with the product, but you're also showing people that you can be out doing whatever it is you're doing and still be working your business and still be making your money from your phone. And that goes for like any of these bonuses and stuff that we get. You guys screenshot them and overlay them. And if you don't know how to do that, you just download an app, and maybe we can show you guys that a different time, or maybe we can show you that on Thursday. But I encourage you for now, until you get your one, to switch your focus of trying to like show people that they're buying the product, to showing people that people are buying the product, and you're doing this whether you have a full-time job or if you don't have one, while you're doing other things. So just shift your focus towards your distributor. If that's something that you feel like you struggle with, then you need to tell yourself that you don't struggle with it. Don't stop speaking that over yourself. Okay. Because you can, but switch that focus and showing people what this business is doing and how you can do it everywhere and how it is easy. So that was what I wanted to share.
I love it. Okay, I'm just making sure. Okay, everyone can hear me okay? My internet keeps cutting out, so I want to make sure. Okay, I am just so dang excited about the simplicity of everything that just dropped, because I feel like it allows us to really focus on our business without having to be so focused on big numbers and being a mass enroller and feeling overwhelmed in that direction, where really your purpose in this business now has been so narrowed down, and where duplication is amazing, because that's where your residual is going to come from. How exhausting is it to sign a chart and you feel like you're the only one bringing in the volume to maintain and do all the things, right? We've all been there. I'm assuming all of us have been there, and it's absolutely exhausting. So I love that they've really narrowed the focus. It's 4-in-1 over and over and over again. And talking to potentials about it, or new business partners, when you're talking about 4-in-1, that does not sound overwhelming. What sounded overwhelming before was like, let's go Ruby, let's do the thing, right? Like now it's just like, let's get your 4-in-1, let's keep going. So thinking about like what everybody's saying here is, a lot of times for us, it's a lot easier to sign customers and a little bit slower to sign distributors. But you guys, don't allow that fear of what you were prior to this month hold you back from going forward and taking full advantage of these bonuses. I know for myself, I'm not a high DT enroller by any means, but I sure as heck am taking the opportunity at the start of the month to look for my one and then fill out the rest, because customers are a little easier for me. So, but also allow yourself to realize that confidence comes from consistency, right? So if you are brand new, or maybe you've been in for a while and you're like, well, every DT I sign like disappears, or maybe you just signed 1 or 2 and you're still super nervous about it, you guys, allow yourself to be nervous. Allow yourself to put in the work to become confident. None of us were confident leaders when we got started. Some of us probably still have insecurities. I know I for sure do. And that's just a part of the process. We're all human. Nobody's going to join your team expecting you to be this perfect leader. But what you can do is explain to them how to do the 4-in-1, right? And if you can't do it, jump on a 3-way with a leader. If you're brand new, that's what we're here for, or get them on a Zoom, whatever the case is. There is so much available to you that don't allow that fear to hold you back. And again, if you feel like you can't explain something, watch some videos before you get on a call, do the things. But like Ariane said, if you get on a call with somebody, because this used to terrify me, and then now I have some Zoom set up with complete strangers in the next couple of days, like I have all these questions. But you guys, if you ask the right questions and you just listen, they are going to talk to you about what they're nervous about. You don't have to get into the crazy details of this is how we do host to post, and this is how we do this, and this is how we do that. Don't word vomit in your conversations on the phone like we tell you not to do when you're messaging back and forth with people. Just keep it so simple. Don't answer questions that aren't asked because you're just going to overwhelm yourself. Ariane, are you going to say something? I just saw you go. Okay, awesome. So I think what I love about this, you guys, is that we're bringing the simplicity back, which allows us to really focus on connection. And for me, I absolutely love that because I can't get into conversations with a ton of people and feel like I can bring all those people value because I know they're going to slip through the cracks because I'm feeling overwhelmed. But when I can say I'm focusing on looking for my one this week, or whatever your number is going to be that you know you can really focus on, stick to that number. Don't compete with the person on the left or on the right. Stick to your number, set your goal, go after your cash bonuses, whatever is going to change your life, and continue to go from there. So I love the quote that people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. And in this business, you get to bring that forward when you're having conversations with people. That comes from asking them questions about their life. What is this business going to do for you? What would help you sleep better at night? Where would this be worth it for you to help with certain bills? Whatever the case is, start relating to them. Because when you get people connected to those questions, this business becomes an answer. And when this becomes an answer, people don't care how much this business is going to start to get or cost to get started, right? We're going to talk about that in a minute too. So you are bringing value constantly. It's not, yay, our starter kits are $10, or yay, this is on sale and this is on sale. Stop looking for those people. Stop going for quantity and start putting out quality content, looking for quality people to build a quality business. That's what we're here for. That's going to bring your residual. That's going to bring the stress down. It's going to bring the excitement back. And so building connection, you guys, and all of us are probably going to repeat this so much to you tonight, but it's truly how we do it. So I'm going to encourage you. I know showing your face in your stories or getting live can be a nerve-wracking for some people. I used to shake doing it. I get it. But get your face in your stories, not just only your photo, but get in there, start talking. Like Courtney shared the method of creating your story in stories. I encourage you to take that method and speak it instead of typing it every once in a while, okay? And there's another one you can do, which is the feel, felt, found method. So it's like, I feel you. I know where you're at. This is how I felt in that position. And this is what I found that helped me get out of it. So that's how you are constantly presenting it. You're a problem solver. You're helping someone financially. And this is just so stinking exciting. So get your face in your stories, get your face on a live, talk about this business, talk about where you're going, talk about what it's doing, grab a person and interview them. Britt and I love to do this on our Instagram, Facebook, where we will go back and forth talking about our experience in this business. It puts content out there that people can just listen to live. You're not necessarily inviting them to a Zoom. And it's just so much fun. And you get more comfortable sharing your story when you get to do that as well. Start doing voice memos. I know Ariane is amazing at doing voice memos. I'm sure she's going to talk about it, but get your voice talking and responding to people, because when people hear your voice, they hear your excitement. They hear first also that you're a real person that they get to truly connect with. Once I do those, I feel like I know somebody, because sometimes they get in there and they start voice memoing back and it's like, this is kind of crazy, but whatever. You guys, those things are connection points. You just got to figure out how you're going to connect to your audience better. Excitement. Please don't be a freaking Eeyore in your posts, in your stories. Like, guys, you should join my team. Like, this is so much fun. Like, you're gonna kill it. Like, you can make $500. Like, what? Like, who's gonna join you, right? Get in there, get excited. If you're not naturally an excited person, like, slap yourself across the face a few times and go and do it. Like, do what you gotta do. Bring the excitement in. Bring your personality. If you feel like you don't have one, I promise you do. Just leave the ER one aside for that. And yeah, just bring that personality. So I know Courtney just talked about how you can do that in your posts and your stories, and I'm going to be repetitive here, but provide value, you guys, and make it relatable. So like they were talking about too, sharing testimonials is absolutely huge. And I realized, Ariane, I used to do that all the time where like so many top leaders would share their stories and I'd be like, copy paste, take your picture, posting it, like this is awesome kind of thing. And if you guys aren't finding them because people are doing it less or whatever, like she said, message them, message us, just ask, say you're super inspiring to me. Do you mind sending me your story so I can share it on my wall? Like, they don't care. They love sharing their story. They're successful. They're excited. They want to help you. They want to help people. So ask for that. Share your why. Again, make it into a post, make it into a story, talk about it, share where you're going, share your wins, like paying for gas, taking your partner out for dinner, girls' night, going shopping. Like there's all these different things, you guys, that you can share that you're so excited about what this business is doing for you. Share your team's wins. That's another huge one. There's weekly bonuses where people like to shout out where that's going to. Ask your team what their weekly bonuses are going to. If you don't see them and other teams are posting about it, screenshot it and share it too, whatever. And then again, testimonials. Those are all so important to do. So you guys, people, I can promise you that the majority of the people who have joined me over the last 4.5 years have been because they've watched my story. It's because they watch the ups and downs. They see the testimonials. They're connecting with you without having a clue what you have to truly offer when it comes to product, unless maybe they know you have coffee and they don't know what else you have. When I joined Erin Tweed, it's because I saw hair, skin, and nails, and I saw the opportunity of what it's done for her life, and it's what it's done for other people. So people are joining you, not because they're excited about product, they're joining you because they're excited because you're excited. So show that excitement, show people where they can go, be that answer that's keeping them up at night. And I promise your business is absolutely going to boom. So bring that confidence to it. And speaking of confidence, the white elephant in the room right now, or is that it? I don't know. Giant, the elephant in the room. I'm thinking about Christmas presents, white elephant. I don't know. It's coming up. Christmas cash. The price increase in our starter kit. So $149 for USA, and in Canada where I am, maybe this will help you feel better, it's $220. So let that help you. But you guys, at the same time, this is going to be bringing in quality people. So you may not have a ton of conversations where it's like, yeah, I want to join because it's $20 or whatever, and I'm going to get free product from that. This is now, they're putting in an investment. They're getting a ton of product to begin with, but they're joining with the mindset that, okay, I'm launching my business now. And that's how you want to have those conversations with them and bring that confidence where I am so excited to talk to you about launching your business before you even talk about the price, because you need to start embedding that into people's heads that this is starting a business. This isn't, hey, you're buying some product, see how you like it, and maybe you'll make some money. It's like, no, this is how you're starting. This is how much it's going to cost. And I'm going to teach you how to get $500 in the next week or two. You get to do that and just tell them to follow your lead. And people who are meant to be on your team are going to join your team. And this is going to be just so much fun. So switch that mindset. Okay, maybe it's a lot of money to you. Don't let those insecurities fall into your conversations because of how that financially would feel for you. Okay, so bring that confidence. People are investing. Pretend they're franchise owners if you want. It'll make you feel better. It's not $500,000 plus. Okay, so just have that confidence. What you have to offer, you're bringing value. You're changing lives. You're changing your life. Keep going. And yeah, so I'm gonna mute.
I have one thing while she's talking about adding value and what to say to people and that sort of thing. I have two things that I used even with the 99, because I feel like sometimes we got in the rut of like, well, it's not $20, well, it's not $49, and people, whatever the price is, you're gonna think it's a lot. And it depends on how you offer it. It could be $50. It has always been $50. And then we mark it down to 25. And you're like, how am I supposed to have people join for $50 now? Like, it's always going to be whatever the top price is. You're like, you know what I mean? But this is how it's going to be forever. And so we're going to get in that right mindset. But the two phrases that I always use with people, no matter what the price was, especially when it was like our normal price of 99, was these two things. One of them is, I seriously voice message people and tell them, it's normally if they like act weird about the price, like, oh, it's $99 or something like that. I'm very like strong-headed about like, you're crazy if you don't join this business, so here's how it is type of thing, because I know everything it's done for me, and if I wouldn't have joined, I wouldn't be where I am right now. So the first one is, I literally voice message them and tell them I would pay $500+ to join this business, knowing everything that it's done for me so far. If it wasn't for this business, I would still be a broke college student. Well, I wouldn't still be in college, but you know what I mean? I would have been a broke college student. I would have graduated with a ton of debt. I would have went and got a job that paid me near nothing to even pay back my loans. And I would have still been living broke, paycheck to paycheck. But because of this business, I was able to graduate debt free. I was able to work this business full time, making a full-time income from home. I was able to pay for my wedding and blah, 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 blah. Like, you don't have to say all the big things, but like, you just get to say, I don't have to live paycheck to paycheck anymore because of this business. So if I was looking back and someone told me it was $500+, I would pay that and that's going to pour belief into them. Like, dang, she really believes in this business, or like, that's adding value by me saying that. And then they're going to think, dang, well, yeah, 150 isn't that much. Second thing is, I always tell people, and this might seem really red to some of you, you might have to bring out the red bone in your body, and you can say it nicely. And I do say it nicely. But one of the things that I say is, okay, I mean, you can either save that or not spend that $150 to join the business and spend it on something else and it's gone forever. Or you can invest that $150 in our business and get paid every single month because of that. And I would probably add in there, make your $150 back within your first couple of weeks if you're willing to let me train you, and then make an extra income on top of that every single month on top of your bonuses. And when people see it like that, on like $150 not invested, you spend it once and it's gone. You invest it, you get paid every single month with this business. I feel like it gets them to think in a business mindset way, where they're like, okay, yeah, that does make sense. I really do need the money. Or even saying, I know some people say to people, if you can't afford the $150, you can't afford not to do this business. You need the extra income. If you don't have the extra income, it means you need an extra income. And just phrases like that, being confident enough to say that, and that comes from confidence and practice and believing in our business and believing in your story and what the business has done for you and is going to do for you. And that will come out in your conversations too.
Yes. Okay, perfect. That's so funny you touched on that, because that's what I was going to like, tying back into what they were both saying, you guys. The hesitation in price starts with you. If you are not confident with that price, they are not going to be confident. They'll be like, well, you see, we kind of brought our prices back up to $149, but you still want to do it? They're gonna say no. They're gonna say, I cannot afford that. But like Courtney was saying, and I'm gonna go into the voice messaging aspect of it, because I've been using distributor host to post, and I'm gonna toss all that in there. I'm gonna go through all of that with you guys and why it's working for me. But when you're voice messaging people, you guys, maybe I shouldn't start with this, but I'm just going to say it. When you're doing this distributor host to post, that I'm going to go over all of that with you guys. And if you're newer and stuff, just take it with a grain of salt and we'll walk you through it individually. But I'm sending them the first initial message of like, hey, I saw your comment, blah, 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 blah. Would you be interested? And when they say yes, you guys, I'm voice messaging them immediately. And then when I'm talking about like how we get paid, I'm voice messaging them and just saying, hey, I'm going to drop something below really quick so you can read it. It's right in front of your face. And you can see all of the different ways that we get paid, just so you're not confused. Let me know if you have any questions. And then I drop the script so that they can read it. Right. And that's when people, either from their first message about like what we do. I don't know how you guys do yours. I can give all of those scripts too, but like when they're going to have objections about that, they're going to have questions about that. And that's when you have to be comfortable enough to voice message them. And remember, you guys, I don't know if like many of you have like an iPad or a computer, if you're all from your phone, but for the longest time, what I did was I went onto my messenger, I sent the scripts to myself and I pulled it up on my iPad and I read it. I voice messaged while I was reading it. Okay. And the coolest thing about that, you guys, and I know we're talking about the relationship aspect. So we're trying to build that relationship. But when it talks about like the same things that we're talking about, like what we do, what we sell, how we post, how we market, all of those things, you guys can forward those voice messages. If you know that that's a good one, you can forward it to yourself in your messenger, and you can keep it there to literally forward to everybody, just like you would a script, only it's a voice message. And so you're not having to sit there and have to redo the voice message or redo the voice message. Send it to yourself, or even practice. If you don't want to send it right to a potential distributor right away, practice sending it to yourself. You can send a voice message to yourself. And then you can, if you like it, unsend it, whatever, because you can unsend when you send it to yourself and you'll never see it again. You'll never have to hear it again. And you can practice as much as you want to. But I really encourage you guys to do that, because I've had so many people, just like Courtney was saying, say how, well, or like, I don't have the money. And I'm going to voice message them and I'm going to say, girl, people don't join this business because they have the money. More times, there are a few people in this business that have joined that just do this because they wanted extra. They didn't need the extra income. They just wanted something to do and for nails and like fun stuff, which is fine too. But those are rare. Okay. People look at this because they need income. And so you have to put that in their head, because when you say that to them and you voice that to them, it's going to hit different than you just texting them and being like, people don't join because they need money. They hear that in your voice. And then if you guys have like any kind of background in that, I get people tell me about the money thing and the time. I hear that all the time. They don't have the time and they don't have the money. I just did this voice message yesterday and I said, you know what? People don't necessarily join this business because they have the time. They join this business because they want more freedom of their time. Let me tell you a little bit about myself. Then I go into my story and I say, back when I started 4 years ago, I was working 60 hours a week, yada, yada, yada. And I go into a little snippet about where my story was 4 years ago and completely knocking out that objection. And I've had so many people respond, well, when you put it that way. And then we are in conversation. No, they haven't signed up yet, but we are still, going back and forth in conversation. And again, you guys, that comes from that confidence. I tell this story all of the time, and this is actually a loyal customer. And I've said this to you guys before, but because of my belief in this business and belief in these products and my confidence of it, when that lady that I was following up with told me that I was rude and annoying as heck, I was following up with her, and she messaged me back and she said, girl, you are so rude and annoying as heck. Yes, I'm going to order your product. Give me a call and we'll figure it out. And most people would have been like pinching your butt cheeks and saying, no, I ain't doing it. Right. Most of you guys would probably not call her, but I did. I called her on the phone. She was interested in the cleanse. I upsold her to the gummies. She signed up. She's seeing results. She loves the products, all of the things. She's no longer sassy. Okay. Because I had that confidence in this business. I had that confidence in our products, and you guys have to speak that over yourself. You have to speak that over, this business. And what else was I going to say? And with those voice messages, you guys have to remember, yes, you're telling your story all of the time. And yes, maybe you talk to people that have been watching you. You've talked to people that have seen your story. They've seen your post. But when you guys start doing it, if you guys want to start doing this distributor host to post, I'm just going to put it in the chat because I keep talking about it. This one's working for me. Or it was. Is it going to, it's not even going to paste in there. Okay. Well, I will grab it in a second. Anyways, So I'm bringing in people that have never heard my story before. They have no idea who I am, no idea what this opportunity is. And so when you are voice messaging them, you guys are showing them that you're a real person, first and foremost. And secondly, you can tell them your story because they haven't heard it before. And that's where, the voice messages are just a game changer. And I know, again, like I said, they are nerve-wracking, but and going back to what Alyssa was talking about with going live and in your stories, same thing, you guys. If I'm being honest with you, I didn't go live for the first 2 years that I was in this business because I was absolutely terrified. I didn't know what to say. And you know what I did is I wrote down on a piece of notebook paper, or I typed it up on my iPad, little bullet points of what I wanted to talk about. Or if it was a story, I went and I used to watch Rachel's story and I would go back through it. And if you guys want to do this, it's fine, but it does take a lot of time sometimes. But if it's going to help build your confidence, is I used to go back through her stories and I'd listen to it and I'd write down what she says, and I would listen to each slide and I would write down a little bit of what she said, and I'd put it in front of me, and then I would go and I would record myself on my phone in my stories and say exactly what she was saying in my own voice, my own face. And you guys, that's okay to do that. If that's what's going to build your confidence and that's what's going to get your face on there, you're going to keep doing this and keep doing this. And you're going to be so confident. You're going to be so confident because you are going to be so proud of yourself. I'm so proud of myself for being on my stories sometimes. And sometimes I make a fool of myself and I just like laugh anymore because it is scary, but it gets to be so much fun. And then when you guys are doing this over and over and over again, it's kind of like when you're doing host to post over and over again, guess what? It's like the back of your hand, right? Super easy, super simple. And when you start doing all of the other things, you start doing the messaging, you start talking about the products, you start talking about this, it is going to become like second nature to you guys. And it is going to be so easy for you to just pop in and whatever. And you guys don't have to be perfect. You don't have to be perfect. Okay. Yes, I'm talking about writing it down and like saying it on there, but that's just to build your confidence. You guys don't have to know everything that you're saying. And you don't even have to be talking about the business. You don't even have to do that. If you feel more comfortable about going and making your dinner, go make your dinner live. People love to see what people are making for food. Go just while you're cooking dinner, have a little chat. Or I've seen some of the other leaders and stuff do like a morning coffee chat on a certain day or whatever it is, and people just hop on and you just talk about whatever you feel like that day. And so just get used to getting in front of the camera. What else was I gonna put? Oh, and then back to the price again, one more time. Just, when you're talking to people about that, when they're talking about the price, and I've said, like Courtney has said too, I just said it to somebody the other day that I would pay thousands of dollars over and over again to join this business, not just from the money that I personally made, but because of the opportunity that I've seen, the lives that I've seen changed because of other people. And if you guys aren't getting on the stories Zooms at 9, I know they just started last week, but they're at 9 Central on Thursdays, get on them because they will inspire you. Those are for you. And I remember we used to do them all the time back when I first started. And I loved listening to these people and their success stories because it gives you that sense of like, well, she can do it. I mean, so can I, because we all sometimes sit in the pity pool. Okay. We sit in the pity pool and we're like, I can't do this because of X, Y, and Z. I can't do this. I can't do this. And then we sit there, but then you're going to go listen to somebody who had their, like I think of Jade Hooper's story a lot of times too. Like her story really gets me because like she was rock bottom. It was her electric was being turned off. She was, all of these things. And she was top 3 income earner for like 5 years. Okay. And so it's just, and I have goosebumps even thinking about that because you can hear these stories and be like, why, instead of thinking like, why me or why not me, you think like, why not me? Why could that not be me? And that's just so much more inspiring. And then again, too, you guys, the friendships. I would join this business for however much just to keep the friendships that I have. I would have never met Courtney or Alyssa if it weren't for this business. And they are two of my best friends. Okay. And that alone is what keeps me here, are the friendships in there. And that's why we are talking to you guys so much about building that relationship, because you're not just bringing in a business partner. You're going to be bringing in a best friend. You're going to be bringing in a best friend to work with you to make a whole bunch of money with. Okay. And so, you know, make that a point too, because sometimes people are lonely. People are lonely. And especially right now, in the times that we live in right now, people are lonely. And so if you can tell them that they can make a like bunch of best new friends and a whole bunch of money together, and all we have to do is sit on the here, I mean, people are gonna love it. So I think that was all I wanted to talk about on that. And then I'll put the distributor host a post in there. And you guys, I don't want you to like abuse this in a sense of like, you're not going to get any product host to post up. You're not going to do any opportunity host to post and like this and that. Like for me, I'm doing like half and half, because right now my network is just at its peak where I don't have to do a giveaway host to post. I don't have to bring in like that. I reprinted my friends list. I'm going through that. That's where I'm at in my business. But everybody else is different. Okay. And so if you're getting up 10 hosts to post up every single day, you know, maybe you start with 2 or 3 giveaway hosts to post first thing in the morning, and then you do 2 or 3 distributor hosts to post, and then you do the rest of them product. Okay. Because we want to remember, like Courtney was talking about with that follow-up, is you don't want to overwhelm yourself with being in a bunch of distributor conversations. Not that it's a bad thing, but we're trying to build relationships. We're not trying to enroll in the masses. And so just really reflect back on that because I've had a few of them actually blow up too. And, you know, it was overwhelming yesterday for me because I was in so many distributor conversations and I felt like I wasn't in any product ones. And I want to do both, you know, and then just really utilizing that follow-up message after they posted for you, you guys. You wouldn't believe how many people have no idea what network marketing is still to this day. They have no idea. Like I've had people message me and be like, what do you mean exactly? Like you do this? Like what? Yeah, it's like our main step. Like, and you just did it for free. So, you know, and just again, being yourself. And that's where those voice messages are coming in. I know I keep repeating myself on that, but voice messages are just where it's at. Scheduling a phone call, that's where it's at. Getting them on the phone. Don't overthink it. So, and then I'm just going to share the host to post in the chat instead of in this chat, because I don't know what's wrong with me. That's it for me.
Alyssa, do you have something to add? Okay. Something when she just said that, it made me think, because when we talk about things like voice messaging or like putting your face on something, I know that half of you guys are like, I'm too scared, I'm not going to do that. Or you're like, you want to do it, but you're too scared. And that's the first thing that I think of. And so that thought popped in my head. And then the second thought I had was, we're going to have to get a little desperate, you guys. And I don't mean desperate as in like, please join my team. Please join my team. Like you really want to do it. Not that kind of desperate. The desperate as in when we tell you, you know, when we talk about, you know, hitting the next rank and we're like, you're going to have to get a little bit desperate and be willing to do whatever it takes to get it. That's the kind of desperate that I'm talking about. It's just simplified. By getting your 4-in-1, it's 1 DT, you guys, 1. And for some of you guys, that might seem like the 1 is like the biggest number in the world when it comes to DTs. And you're going to have to get a little bit desperate inside of yourself to be like, you know what? I am so desperate to get this 1 DT that I'm willing to do whatever it takes. I'm willing to step out of my comfort zone. I'm willing to fail a little bit. You're always going to fail forward. If you make a mistake, or sometimes you guys, I record stories and I'm like, oops, that kind of sounded kind of stupid, but I'm going to post it anyway because I don't care, because I did it. I did the work. I did what it took. And so, and people will see that I'm real because I messed up. I'm like, whatever, I don't care. But sometimes you're going to have to fail forward and just put yourself out there and do the things. And when you do those things, you're going to get rewarded for it. I promise you. But you're going to have to get desperate and just do the things. The other thing I had written down that kind of goes into that was you're going to have to get yourself in more conversations. You know, some of you guys are like, well, I'm not enrolling in DTs. I'm like, how many conversations are you in? Like, are you in 0? Are you in 1 conversation or 2? Yeah, you're probably not going to sign anybody. But when you get yourself in more conversations, you're going to sign more people, just like customers, you guys. It's a direct correlation. If you do 1 host to post, you might not sign a customer for like a few days or a week. But if you're doing 5 to 10 host posts a day, you're going to sign a lot more customers. It's a direct correlation of the work that you're doing. So if you're willing to put yourself out there and do voice messages, do DT host posts, put your face on stories, telling your story, post your story every single night in a different way. If you're willing to do all those things, it's a direct correlation that it's going to lead to DT enrollments. Well, it's going to lead to conversations, and it's going to lead to enrollments from there. And remember, it's a numbers game. So if you're like, well, I'm having a conversation with 1 girl, you're going to get so attached to that 1 girl and be so attached to the outcome that you're like, I need this 1 girl to join because she's my only potential, to where when she says no, you're going to let it get in your head and be like, well, my 1 potential said no. So now back at square 1 and I don't know what to do. Versus if you're in 10 conversations and 1 person says no, you're like, that's fine. I have 9 more potentials. And then 2 more people say, well, I really want to join, but I can't afford it right now, but I'm going to save up and I will message you when I get paid. You're like, cool. 2 more people there. They didn't say no. They're in the future. Cool. Now I have 7 people left. Do you see what I'm saying? Like you don't get attached to the outcome. And my motto is I got to think about it. I don't know. I'm going to screw it up. Miranda, I've told you this before, so I feel like you know what I'm talking about. But I always tell people, don't get attached to the outcome of the conversation. Just pour everything you can into the conversation. Is that what I used to tell you? I don't even know. But like give that person your all, to where like you're giving them everything for them to join. But even if they don't, I'm not attached to that person. So I'm going to voice message them. I'm going to give them all of the passion in my voice, tell them all of my story, give them all the information that they need, every ounce that I can. And then it's up to them to say yes or no. I can't control that. So don't focus on, that's what I used to say. Don't focus on what you can't control. Focus on the only things that you can control, which is getting in more conversations, doing the work, what you say to them, how you say it to them by doing those voice messages and things like that. And the rest is not in your hands. So as long as you're doing the work, you're going to sign DTs, and don't worry about the people who say no. Some of them will come back. Some of them will never come back. And that's okay, because they weren't the quality people. And that's something else that I wasn't even going to say that. But when it comes to quality people, you guys, I used to let anybody and everybody join my team. And I know we're not supposed to judge people, but you can tell by conversations if somebody is a quality person or not. And I used to be like, yes, join my team. Cool. I'll just get mine faster. And then that's okay if you do nothing. Okay, yeah, join my team. Join my team. Cool. Now I tell you, I kid you not, a couple months ago, I literally, hold on. I literally told a girl basically not to join my team. You guys are like, wait, what? I had her number. I sent her my link, and she said, what did she even say? It was something about like, how much time does this really take, or something that led me to believe that she thought it was just going to be a join and get paid, and she didn't want to do the work that it takes or take the time that it's going to take. And I sent her a voice message that was very honest, saying what you get out of it is what you put into it. If you're not willing to put time in, you're not going to be successful. If you're willing to put time in, you will be successful. But if you feel like you're not willing to put that time in, then this probably isn't the best fit for you. And whatever, I was just honest about what it's truly going to take to work your business and how much time it's going to take. You guys, she never responded to me. What does that tell you? That she was going to join and either ghost me, or I was going to send her these tasks for her to do to start her business, and she was not going to do them and not going to join, not going to message me back, not going to continue in our training, and not do anything. So it would have been wasting my time versus letting that one go by and finding a quality person like Miranda, who's sitting on this Zoom right now. I don't even know the other girl's name, to be honest. But the quality people are going to pay off versus the people who they're just going to waste your time. Do you really want to train somebody who you know is probably most likely 99% not going to put in the work and going to ghost you? Sometimes you don't know. Sometimes it's a 50-50, but sometimes you can really tell. And it's up to you to decide if you're going to be a quality business owner to decide if your time is worth training somebody who's not going to meet you halfway, or waiting and working towards the people who are going to meet you halfway and are actually going to do the task that you send them. Use your time wise, like respect your time as a leader, and actually do the work and pay off for your business.
Just one last thing I'm going to add to that, you guys, is when she was talking about that, all I kept thinking about, and I think Brittany Landrum actually said that on a Zoom, was even like with the people in your business that you have now that are, you know, are in there and they're not working, or they're not doing the things, you guys, they might not even be in this season to be your runner. They're not in this season to work their business, but they are in this season to be a distraction. Because if you notice, everybody that isn't working, that's in your downline, do you spend more time thinking about that, or do you spend more time focusing on the ones that actually are working? Because I had a gut check a couple months ago in my group chat, because I stopped messaging in it. I stopped, like, it was driving me mad. It was driving me insane, because I was seeing all the little bubbles pop up of all of the people that weren't working. And guess what? I focused so much on those people that were not working that I didn't even think about the people that were in there that actually were doing stuff, and we're hopping on the Zoom, and we're sending the messages, and we're doing the things. And you have to think about that too, with what Courtney was talking about. We're talking about potentials. If you are so solely focused on that one person that told you no, you are never going to sign a distributor, because you are going to be too focused on that person that said no because you thought that they were going to be good for this business. You thought that they were made for this. We know that once we get them here, that we can train them and we can do the things and everything. But you have to remember, like, you've almost dodged that distraction by doing exactly what Courtney said, being completely real with them. We have to stop telling people that this is extremely easy, especially for those that want to come in and they want to make a full-time income and they want to replace their jobs, or they want to make an extra $500 a month. Yes, with this Fast Start program, you can make that in a week, but are they really willing to do that? Are they actually willing to do the work to earn that $500? And you have to be real with them. Otherwise, you are going to continue bringing in those distractions into your business. And then, you know, you're not going to put your focus into the ones that are working, and you're not going to focus on your new distributor that could be killing it because you're too worried that Sally isn't doing anything and sitting over there, but she's posting about grandma's cupcakes or whatever. So I don't know, but I just wanted to say that, because we have to put our focus on exactly what it is that we want. What is it? And that's, you know, the one last thing I'll end on with that is your non-negotiable, what was I going to say? Like your non-negotiables and your priorities. Okay. If that $5,000 Christmas cash bonus, like all together, it's $5,000. Is that $5,000 to you a priority? Is that something that you can, or is that something that you can be okay with if you like, meh, it's all right, I could use the money, but if I don't get it, it's okay? Or are you solely focused on making sure that you're bringing in quality people to your business to help you earn that $5,000 bonus and them earn that $5,000 bonus? Because this, you guys, corporate just made it so simple. You can't think about the whole mass enrolling thing. Will I continue to mass enroll customers? Probably. Am I going to turn somebody away from the business? Probably not. But you just have to know, you just have to remember that your run is your run. Corporate is giving you the permission to simply sign 4 customers and 1 distributor, and then take that focus off of your business because you've done what you had to do, and now focus on your distributor's business and put your sole focus on that. And then put your sole focus on their distributor's business, and so on and so forth. Corporate's giving us that permission to make it that simple. So instead of thinking because so-and-so already got their 4 and 1, in the first 2 days that that people started hearing about it or whatever. Like, no, they already got their 4-in-1 because I'm in other chats that people have gotten their 4-in-1s and their new distributors have gotten 4-in-1s. I don't know if you guys watched the thing on Tessie Carter, or if she was, I don't remember if that was the VIP page or which one it was, but anyways, but she already got her 4-in-1 and her new distributor already got her 4-in-1. Okay. Now, does that drive me to want to get my 4-in-1? Yes, that is pushing me so hard, but I'm not comparing myself because you guys, again, corporate is giving you 30 days. Okay. Well, technically, what is it? 22 or whatever, 23 days. Okay. You have 23 days to go and make that happen. So don't base your run off because so-and-so already got their 4-in-1 and they're already taking off with it. You have the entire month to get your 1, but you have to start now on making sure that that's your focus. You have to make that a point to know that this is what I'm doing. And we all know the customers will come. And yes, the distributors are a little bit, more difficult, but that's only difficult if you're not doing the things, if you're not getting in the conversations, if you're not getting uncomfortable. So that's all that I wanted to say. I don't know. Do you guys have anything else? Am I closing? Okay. Okay, awesome. Well, I hope that this really, really helped you guys. And then Thursday at 7 Central, yes, we're going to do we haven't decided if it's Power 30, Power Hour, whatever it is, but we are going to come to you guys. We're going to hop on here, whoever can make it. We're going to give you tasks, give you scripts, give you all of the things. I'm going to make some slides for you guys to throw up on your stories while we're on. So I really encourage you guys, if you can be here Thursday night, to come and do it. And it's going to be all distributor focused. Okay. So that's what hopefully we're doing with every single week. We kind of poured into you guys about that. I really want you guys to take this as homework and come back with us on Thursday or even later in the chat and let us know, hey, I went live, or hey, I posted, my face to my story. I talked on my story, and, blow up the chat with your guys' wins on what it is that you guys are doing that you got from this Zoom today. Cause we want to hear it. We want to see it. So we will see you guys all on Thursday, and happy enrolling.